This is the Desert Bears podcast. I'm Garit, filling in for Davey. He has SARS.
I'm Mark Knott.
Awesome. Well, we've got Brandon here with us again. I can't talk anymore.
Hi. Can I get a theme song?
Oh, hold on. Yeah, let me get at this. Let's see what you need. Let's get you a theme song going. I don't know if I have anything good. This is what I got queued up, so this is what we're going to do. Your theme song.
That's a good theme song.
Oh. 1979. 3 years before I was born. I mean, it's close.
I've got this cousin who we did this. We played catchphrase with the other night with a bunch of cousins, and he is you know Rory Jones. I'll throw his name out there.
Oh yeah.
He's like what, a couple of years younger than us, but all of his references were before 1980. He would like throw all his references before 1980 and then just stare at everyone like, why don't you know this? And we're all staring at him like, why do you know that? And we couldn't communicate because his most modern reference I think was like in the 80s, like in 83 or something like that. And he was referring to these old TV shows from the 70s, these old bands from the 50s, and it's like everyone's like, we have no idea what you're talking about. So
I want my theme song to be Stonehenge from Spinal Tap.
Stonehenge,
where the demons dwell.
What do I got for you? I can give you some. I like this one. That's good stuff. Rocca DeLuca and the Burden. Kiefer Sutherland, he's their band manager. That's kind of how they got popular. He was there.
I'm just gonna give you one eyebrow raise.
All right, so let's get to the topic at hand.
Yes.
Which is my topic today. And I want to talk about children's entertainment, both past and present. So I had a couple questions I wanted to ask you guys. Let me pull up my questions here. What shows do you remember as kids?
Thunderhawks. No, Silverhawks.
Silverhawks? Never heard of it.
Not familiar. I was gonna say, when you first mentioned this topic, as far as like cartoons and stuff go, I was never, and this is probably where I'm going to differ with you guys, I was never really into like the action cartoons.
Okay. Like
the Batman kind of stuff. Definitely more into like the Looney Tunes, the Tom and Jerry stuff, like the Animaniacs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that you guys were into that too, but like that was more my thing. I just never got into the action stuff.
You know, I was going to bring this up a little bit later, but I wasn't even allowed to watch He-Man. He-Man was the first action one I thought of. I wasn't allowed to watch it. Wow.
He-Man and Thundercats are deep into my blood. Very, very deep.
But yeah, I'm with you, Brandon, with the Animaniacs and the Tick and Eek the Cat.
Tick, Eek.
Those were like, I remember I was in sixth grade when I watched these, and I remember one of the sixth graders going like, used to watch those kid shows. I'm like, kid shows? They're brilliant. They're hilarious.
No, absolutely. Like you remember Bobby's World?
Oh yeah.
That was like the most intelligent, like hilarious cartoon ever.
Yeah.
Like it was so good.
There was some good stuff. Yeah, Animaniacs actually, we found on Netflix the Christmas special, Wacko's Wish, and during Christmas time, my son Merrill watched it all the time, and so he watched the Animaniacs, and I was pretty proud of him for loving them so much.
I did watch those; they were fun.
Yeah, and they were smart. And I don't watch cartoons much today, but it doesn't seem like there is that level of smart entertainment in children's entertainment today.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Again, I don't watch a lot of it, but none of it, but. It just doesn't seem the same.
Yeah.
I admit that I can still watch He-Man and love it. It's ridiculous. I'm
still not allowed to watch it actually, but
He-Man cartoons, they always had the end of the episode was, this little like
the
segment
moral.
The moral of the story, and it was like, so you should learn to, keep your room clean, blah, blah, blah. And
help old ladies across the street.
I just freaking love it, It's
because I never watched G.I. Joe. I think the only violent, quote, violent show I watched was Ninja Turtles.
Oh, yeah.
I watched Ninja Turtles and Batman were big for me, too.
Yeah, I guess, that would probably be like the most action-y cartoon that I watched was Ninja Turtles. And
so how did these shows affect you as a kid? How would you say they affected you? Were they just entertainment, or do you think they actually did something to you?
Obviously Garit's He-Man. I mean, I think the morals shaped him into the man he is today.
He still keeps his room
Where
clean.
would I be without Prince Adam and his magic sword?
I would say there was definitely a point where it kind of it meant a little bit more. Like I remember specifically a joke that was on, I think it was on Tiny Toons. It could have been Animaniacs. Okay. I don't remember, but they were at Woodstock, and the band that was playing was The Who. Uh-huh. And it was this little squirrel character. I don't remember any names.
Okay, yeah. Do
you remember this?
Animaniacs,
and she goes up on the stage. She's like, "You guys need to shut up or quiet down." And she's like, "Who are you guys?" And he's like, "Who?" She's like, "You guys." She's like, "Who?" And I remember thinking like, "Oh, that's because of the band that's like really clever and funny." And I remember at that point, like I started understanding like the more, grown up jokes at that point. And I think honestly that that kind of shaped sort of my sense of humor in a way. It was just like probably mostly Animaniacs. So I would say in that sense, like there was definitely a point where I noticed that it was kind of affecting me a little bit more and maybe shaping a little bit more.
Yeah, Animaniacs definitely. I'm glad you brought that up because the exact same thing where it was smart, but they still had the slapstick comedy in there. Like the dog who was trying to what was it? Molly was that little girl who would walk away. She was strapped to the tree. She'd walk away, and the dog would try to. Buttons would try to save her, and there was still a slapstick comedy there. But then you had the intelligent humor from like Pinky and the Brain, or the it's time for another good idea, bad idea.
Oh yeah,
those were so good, and they had these little segments. And the
what was it the wheel at the end, like the
lesson? Oh yeah, wheel of morality. Turn. Like tell us a lesson that we should learn.
Stupidest stuff.
It was a great variety show and really smart and really funny. And I want to find those actually on DVD. They had some great songs. They had some great everything. Yeah, actually, Yakko had taught us about the countries. I think one of the songs.
That was great. Like with the Mexican hat dance.
Yeah.
Like that was ingenious.
And they've done a few like that. So yeah, Animaniacs was a really smart show, and I don't know of anything like that today. It's funny. I'll jump into today's stuff because I have kids. I'm the only one here that has kids. I've got 2 kids.
Before you jump into the today, can I just mention really quick and see if you guys are on board with this? Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, yes, of course.
Oh,
yes,
Power Rangers Samurai.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure because I know that like Garit. We're all the same age. I was gonna say Mark, you're a little younger. No, but we're about the same age. But like I remember it was kind of we were right at that point where it was almost not cool to watch.
It was made fun of, but we still watched it.
Like I didn't admit it.
You didn't watch?
No. Well, I actually watched it and enjoyed it, but like I wouldn't admit it to friends. Once I found out Ben Robinson watched it too, and we were neighbors, and it was kind of like this secret club we had, like this underground kind of like
we watched Power Rangers.
Look around, make sure no one's looking. You're like, you see Power Rangers last night? Yeah, it was awesome. Something's coming.
Make my monster grow!
Oh my god!
So you never watched Power Rangers?
No, I had a much younger cousin who loved it, and he had Power Ranger action figures, and I watched a couple of shows with him, but no, I never ever watched that.
Interesting. Yeah, it was fun, and it was obvious that they converted it for the American audience, and I think they still do today. If they don't do it today, they try to mimic it. Where most of it was filmed in any action stuff was filmed in Japan, but anytime they needed the actual American actors, that was here, and there's obvious disconnect because I think even like the frame rate felt different, like just the overall video felt different when they were fighting.
Oh, that is funny. It's like filmed 25p or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you remember the Bulk and Skull theme? It like goes
yeah.
Anyway,
and then Emperor, was it Zed? Was Emperor Zed came in, and
who was it?
Zordon was the big
Zordon, the head
with Alpha. But then the big muscle guy who's like he had just like muscle showing, wasn't that Zed?
I don't know if I remember that.
Oh, did you not watch
Pastrita? Not so much, no.
Oh, okay. It was I stopped too then. Yeah, I didn't watch Pastrita either. That was
Power Rangers.
That's sort of got weird, guys. That's
anyway. So I just
recently saw that trailer for the Power Ranger Samurai Edition or whatever. I was
okay.
Oh my
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, Saturday morning they're still on. It's and they've gone through different iterations of different types of Power Rangers. Like one of them they were like like saving kittens or something like that. I don't remember what the issue was there.
Please,
but
just let me die right now.
Before we move on, one more thing.
And this big green dragon comes out of the ocean.
That was the Green Power Ranger theme.
And what was funny about the show,
flute.
every episode was exactly the same.
Oh, exactly.
The Putty Patrol comes, they kick him in the chest, and then the monster, and then the Pink Ranger, she was actually on the show last year or two called Flashpoint on CBS, which I actually enjoyed. So it's funny seeing her again. But yeah, and then the monster would come, or the monster was there with the Putty Patrol, one of the two, and they would almost defeat him, and then that's when Rita would say, "Make my monster grow!" and throw her wand from the moon. You would love this, Garrett. She throws her wand from the moon.
I think there was lightning in there.
Lightning. Yeah. And it would land, and then the lightning and flashes and stuff, and it would grow. And of course, the Power Rangers. Oh, after they said it's morphin time, then they had to call upon their morphin time, Tyrannosaurus, T-Rex, and then
you just said T-Rex twice.
I think I did, because there's my extent of the knowledge of dinosaurs. T-Rex and Tyrannosaurus Rex. Those are the only two dinosaurs I know. So,
well, you got the most important one.
Yeah. What did they say to call their? I mean, Tommy, the Green Ranger, he would play his flute. But how did they call their machines? Do you remember?
Some like crickets or
I don't know if they actually called them like it's just when they did the power thing and like that sequence. I think that was the calling. Like
and then there's like a 5-minute sequence of the robots coming together, like coming out of the mountainside, and flying through the sky, and then they come together, and then they jump in their little things, and then they all come together in the same. Yeah.
Anyway, just Power Rangers.
Yeah,
it was great.
You had to see it.
Moving on.
So I've got younger kids today, so I don't. It's hard to gauge what the teens are watching nowadays, or the preteens or whatever. But it's interesting how. I'm just gonna go. There's a lot of stuff I could talk about, but I'm gonna go straight to Dora the Explorer.
Dora.
It's on Netflix, so you can watch it whenever you want, however many times you want, and my kids do, which I'm fine with. I actually don't mind Dora. It's all the marketing that's gone along with it. So my son goes to the library and he gets a stack of these Dora books, and every single one is the worst writing I've ever read in any book. It is just. It's impossible to get through because it just and what makes me so frustrated about all this Dora stuff is at the end credits it has this a name of a few child doctors, PhD something PhD. So these doctors are creating these shows to teach these kids, and I appreciate that. It's just I don't know where I'm going with this.
It's just that they suck at life.
Yeah, but my kids
great conclusion.
But my kids love it, so they've obviously developed it, so they like it. And Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, kind of the same thing. They've done it with doctors. I think it was on This American Life that I heard that the show Blue's Clues, when it first came out, they would do one episode and they would show that same episode every day for a week.
And, I heard that too.
Yeah, and then
it's interesting.
Yeah, and then they do the second episode and then do that every day in a week because the kids love the repetition. They love to see the same thing over and over again. And Blue's Clues is a very simple show. It's most of it is silence as Steve stares at the camera waiting for the children to respond. And
love that show.
Yeah. And anyway, I don't.
Blue's Clues.
Blue's Clues. And so now I know all the little jingles and all the little swiper, no swiping. And I
haven't
just
gotten there yet.
That's a little foreign to me.
Yeah, but thankfully it's on Blue. It's on.
Need a few kids first.
It's on Netflix, and so they can watch anytime they want. But I am happy that me and my wife. Originally we said we would only let our kids watch something that we wanted to watch as well, and we've kind of given into that because there's
let's watch Terminator.
Schindler's List.
But I feel like for the most part we've done a good job because we've only showed our kids Pixar stuff or similar stuff that we are actually interested in. So my kid loves WALL-E, he loves Up, he loves Toy Story 3, he loves Toy Story 3. His birthday and Christmas this last year was completely Buzz Lightyear. And I'm fine with that because 15 years ago, I wanted a Buzz Lightyear toy. So kind of getting him a Buzz Lightyear was like, cool, I get a Buzz Lightyear now.
Finally, I've waited for this day for so long.
Exactly. And it's still with me, And so I think there's some, I'm trying my best to give my kids good entertainment. Like when I go to,
I can't wait to have kids so I can give them a sword of omens. Give me sight beyond sight.
I hope I'm a.
May my children never hang out with your children, Garrett.
I know my kids are gonna be the violent kind that are just like constantly hitting me with things and punching me in the nuts.
I don't want to play with the Heaton kids no more.
And I don't understand some parents how they. I don't want to get into parenting too much, but it's frustrating when you go to like a movie that's obviously not a kids movie and there's a bunch of kids walking around with their parents, and it's I don't know. I don't know what the effect of the kid, seeing that kind of stuff that early on, what it's going to do to them. But
at least they're with their parents and not with their like gang friends.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it is okay because it's a family event. I'm kidding.
I don't
Sorry,
know. That was...
No, you might be right. Actually, you might be right. I don't know what the right or wrong is on some of these
kids
things.
Kids are joining gangs a lot younger than they used to. What is your take on? I don't think we've ever talked about this. Do you watch Yo Gabba Gabba?
No, I think I tried to do it once, and so I don't have an opinion on it because I remember I didn't care for it.
Because from kind of an older indie hipster point of view, that show is awesome because they bring on like really cool hip acts, like they brought on the Shins, and like Jack Black was on there, and
who is a moral beacon to children.
He is. I hear Lindsay Lohan is coming up.
Yeah,
that's a joke. I have a unique perspective on it because the creator actually, I lived near him and our families were friends in California, and so that's probably kind of why I followed it a little bit more. Like, had I not known him, I probably wouldn't care as much. But the idea, though, I thought was really cool. It was him and another guy just completely sick and tired of the children's programming, just like this commercialized corporation, like how can we make some money? Let's have this, dog that you have to do this and find clues. Sorry, Blue's Clues. I'm sure you're a great show. But and so they created this show, just like two guys with kids of their own that wanted to create a show that would appeal to their kids and hopefully what they thought would appeal to many kids. And it's become this like cult icon. Like they performed at Coachella and they had like this crowd of 10,000 adults just loving it. And so I was just saying, I guess you are not familiar with it, so we probably can't talk about it too much. But.
Well, no, kind of with the same thing with They Might Be Giants. They've kind of gone that route too, where they've done kids stuff, and I know a lot of it's gone through Disney still, but it's still They Might Be Giants, and it's a lot of fun for me to share that with my kid. We actually do that. He actually does watch that. The Here Come the ABCs. He loves that DVD, and he watches that all the time, and he can sing along, and it's They Might Be Giants, and so it's fun to. It's
Science is Real.
I need to get that. I need to get the science one and
cool
the
album
and the 1, 2, 3 one. We don't have those yet.
Did I show you this, Garrett? They have their original Sun song, which is inaccurate. But then they came out with another version of that song where it's like now the prevailing theories on the sun now.
I should send them an email. Hey guys, here's what's really going on. Would you mind producing a new song?
They probably would.
You know what?
The alphabet of nations.
I will write them. I will do it. I will write them a letter and say, please do another song.
All right, so I don't want to go too long on this topic. I just wanted to kind of reminisce about Animaniacs and where I was as a kid and where my kids are now, and I just hope that I can teach them good, fun stuff and not let them just get sucked into Dora the Explorer. There's more out there, son. Thankfully, he loves other stuff, so.
Algeria, Bulgaria, Cambodia, Dominica,
Egypt, France, the Gambia, Hungary,
What's
Iran,
wrong, Garrett?
Japan, Kazakhstan, Libya, and Mongolia.
This song live is one of my favorite things ever. They do the second verse with the other countries.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And it's like almost like a competition. They like kind of go back and forth listing more and more countries, and it's a lot of fun.
Anyway,
Garrett, you need to come with us next time we go to They Might Be Giants.
Okay.
It's a fun show.
So basically,
I'll talk to them then about.
Moral of the story is play They Might Be Giants for your kids.
Yeah.
Because you'll enjoy it and they'll enjoy it.
Love your kids.
And love your kids.
And go back and find some Animaniacs. Get the discs from Netflix and watch some old Animaniacs.
And worship the Lord.
All right, good. Brandon, it was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Davey, we missed you. Maybe you'll be back later.
Yeah, get over your SARS soon, please. Magic.
Goodbye.